Welcome, everybody, to episode 25 of the Canuckleheads podcast. My name's Justin. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Wes. I don't know any 25s that play for the Canucks. Also, correction on last week's episode, Jace Howerluck was not 24. I was thinking of Darcy Hordichuk.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think, what's his name? Dermot, he's wearing 24 now.
Yeah.
Could have been 25.
I know there's been some 25s, but they're escaping me right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
So let's get right into it here. We had Buffalo at Vancouver, March 20th, 2022. Thatcher Demko, Craig Anderson get the start. We had a new line combination here. Petey, Bow, and Besser. Noah Juulsen was in the lineup. This was 1-0 after 1 for the Sabres. And not a good start to the game again. Canucks were down early. And just you have to wonder, like, why this is going on. Because it's been so many games in a row.
Yeah.
And they get scored on so early, and then after the game they talk about it. Every other dude is like, we can't, this is unacceptable, we can't do this. Yeah. And then the next game they go out and do it again.
Yeah, and Boudreaux even said, like, I'm not even mentioning it to the guys anymore because they know damn well that we can't do that, and it just gets annoying repeating it all the time. But
and I don't think it's a coach's job to make sure your players know they have a game and what time it starts, right? Like, they should be ready, especially the position the Canucks are in, like fighting for a spot in the tournament after the regular season. Yeah, since we're not saying the P word. And like every point is so valuable, and they just get off to these horrendous starts constantly.
Yep.
So then in the second we had a goal from JT Miller, who chipped it over Anderson's glove, and Canucks needed that one. He scored fairly early, and again, it's just like one of the league guys stepping up a period too late, like because the whole team can't start on time. Yeah. But this was a nice goal too. I don't think Craig Anderson really expected JT Miller to make the kind of power move that he did towards the net.
No, I don't think so.
And he just kind of chipped it over him. And then we had a goal on the power play from Bow and the bumper on a great pass from JT Miller, who kind of like did some like body movement for this one, like kind of looked like he was gonna shoot and just slid a puck right over to Bow, who ripped it past Anderson.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see the power play clicking, and it'll be a trend. Miller and Bow scoring goals this week. Mm-hmm. So then this was 2-2 after 3. We go to overtime. Buffalo wins the draw, and the Canucks never touch the puck. Rasmus Dahlin scores on, I think, the first shot from the Sabres.
Yeah, and made me so mad.
Yeah, they had the puck for like a minute and a half and just kept resetting and getting set up, and then eventually they pick their spot and score. Mm-hmm. And it's a tough, like, OTs are tough, right? Because there's two ways teams play them. They're either super aggressive or super passive. Mm-hmm. And the Sabres were kind of both. They were passive until they had their opportunity, and they buried it. Yeah. And then even then, like, the Canucks were like, you expect them to be so much better at 3-on-3 than they have been. Yeah. Because they have Quinn Hughes, Pettersson, Miller, Horvat, Besser, like all guys that are like really good players. Mm-hmm. And especially with Bow and Miller being like really good face-off men, like you'd expect to start with the puck. But...
And that's the thing, like our 3-on-3 was really dangerous for a while, but it seems like for some reason they just haven't been clicking as of late.
Yeah, it was better under Green for whatever reason. Yeah. So this was a really disappointing loss. Like, you needed the 2 points out of this one. I think the 4 games we played against Buffalo and Detroit, we have 1 point. Mm-hmm. Right? You look at where we are in the standings right now. You tack on another 7, that's a playoff spot, and like with a little bit of room for error there instead of being in the position we are right now. This was before the trade deadline. I just have my notes here that this game could have had a massive effect on what the team did on the trade deadline.
For sure.
So we'll kind of, this is a weird one because there was the trade deadline before our next game, so we'll kind of
gloss over.
Yeah, we'll do the trade. The only other trade that happened after the fact, Tyler Mott sent to the New York Rangers for a 2023 4th-round pick. Yep. I figured you would be pretty bummed out about this. It's kind of the going rate for fourth-line players. It was a decent trade. I like Tyler Mott. I would like to keep him, but clearly the Canucks, because they did offer him a contract management, so clearly they had a price that they were sticking to, and it just didn't work for Mott. So at least they got something instead of having another 18 games of Mott and then watching him walk in the summer.
Oh, exactly. And it's kind of crappy because the model line was just named.
Yeah.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I'm 50-50 on it, right? Because I did like Tyler Mott. I liked him as a person. Big advocate for mental health. And it takes a lot of courage to do that in the NHL. It's kind of like a tough guys league. So the Rangers are getting a good player, but also a good person. And I like it because it shows that this management is not like the Jim Benning era, right? Where you hold on to Dan Hamhuis, you don't trade him, and just so on and so forth. You keep all these players for a chance to make the playoffs, and then they walk after the season for nothing. So at least we got that. And then if you look at it too, right, like you keep Mott, or you don't trade Mott, there's a definite end to that. He leaves in summer. Exactly. You get the 4th round pick. Maybe you package that in a future trade, or you draft somebody that turns into something, right? There's so many more possibilities with that. So it's good and bad in the same go around. And Motter, we salute you and thank you for everything you did for the Canucks. You're a warrior. Very much. And good luck in New York. Yeah. Hopefully we see you in the finals. So the next game we have here was Colorado Vancouver in Colorado. Sorry, March 23rd, 2022. Yaroslav Halak got the start in this one, and Darcy Kempfer.
Which he played freaking amazing.
He was really good. I think we all owe Yaroslav Halak a bit of an apology.
Well, and I think he kind of knows, like, all right, they're starting me in a big game. I got to show out.
This was a redemption game for Halak, and he was good.
He played like it.
Brad Richardson and Travis Dermott in the lineup for this one, both making their Canucks. Well, Richardson not really making his Canucks debut, but his re-debut, I guess. Yeah. Dermott was playing with Hunt, and Richardson centers the model line. I have jotted in my notes here, but it's not really the model line anymore.
No.
In the first year, OEL was sticking up for Podkolzin after Cogliano kind of need him. Weird choice by the refs, gave both guys 2 minutes for whatever reason. I think Cogliano should have got an extra because he did stick out the knee.
Yeah.
And something in OEL's game that I don't think he gets enough credit for is he is physical and he's
willing to stick up for
guys.
he
doesn't really. They dropped the gloves in this. It wasn't really a fight. They kind of wrestled, but he's willing to do that. And I didn't really know that was part of OEL's game until he got to Vancouver.
Yeah, and we started to see it right away, him sticking up for the guys. Even on his mic'd up, you hear him talking to the ref, just like basically telling the ref, like, I'm going to stick up for my guys regardless. And I really like that about him.
Yeah, good veteran leadership there from OEL. Knows he doesn't have to drop the gloves. No. Just kind of do something like that, cause a scrum and make a bit of a statement.
Shows you're a leader, yeah.
And also, Pods was elbowed, like, kind of, it looked like he was elbowed in the head. I'm not sure if it was entirely the head or if he got caught in the shoulder, but it looked bad. Again, no penalty. Pods got up and kind of took a penalty on that one afterwards to get a little bit of revenge there. But I felt like the refs were a little bit off in this one. There could have been, I believe the power plays were like 5-1 at the end of this game. And it just seemed like the refs were trying to give Colorado the win.
Yeah, for real.
So this was 0-0 after the first, and Halak was excellent.
Spot on.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. 0-0 after 2, and the Canucks even killed 2 penalties on this one. So against a Colorado team that has a lot of firepower.
Which, this is starting to drive me nuts. Every broadcast that our team plays against, all they want to say when we're killing a penalty is statistically the worst penalty killing in the league.
Every time.
Oh my God, that drives me nuts. Look at our last 10 games stats.
It's been better.
It tells a completely different story, so I hate when they keep throwing that one at us, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I've heard the broadcast the other night say another interesting stat. We have like second most chances on the power play or something like that for our division, so I thought that was a pretty cool stat, but no one likes to talk about that. So.
Positives for Vancouver?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
In the third here, we had a goal from Brock Besser with a wicked wrist shot from the slot.
Yeah.
Great read by Petey. Steal a weak pass attempt or a weak clearing attempt.
Just bumped it out to him.
Right to Brock, and this was a vintage Besser shot.
Yeah.
This was sniping 101 with Professor Besser.
He hasn't done that in a minute either.
It has been a while, so it's nice to see. We know what he can do. He's a one-shot goal scorer. He just has to show it off more.
Yeah.
Then we had a goal from JT Miller on the rebound from a Pearson shot on a 2-on-1. 2 goals in a minute 52. This was kind of a weird goal too. Miller was like behind Kemper when he got the rebound and just slid it in the open net. Yeah. Beat McKinnon to the loose puck. So good on you, JT.
It was so funny when JT sallied. It was like, right in McKinnon's face. Yep. McKinnon standing right there.
Because that's going to infuriate him. McKinnon's a competitor.
Yeah.
And then we had an empty netter from Bo Horvat to seal the deal. This was a great game by the Canucks as a team. Yaroslav Halak was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And this was huge. This was almost like a guaranteed loss, just because Colorado is such a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And the Canucks had this trend of slow starts. Like, the Canucks could have been buried early in this one. I wouldn't have been surprised if this finished like 6-2 or something like that. Yeah. But Halak was great. The team played good. Guys were blocking shots. Like, it was just a total team effort.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the best games of the year I've seen the team play.
Yeah.
3-1 win for this one. And huge, after the loss to Buffalo, to get 2 points from Colorado. One of the most Canucks things ever, right? Lose to Buffalo, beat Colorado.
Yeah, underestimate the first team and then take the second team super serious and elevate to their level.
It's kind of a trend that we've had a little bit where we play down to teams and up to teams.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. As far as standings go, yes, there's bad teams in the NHL, but they're all good players, right? They're in the NHL for a reason.
You got to bring it every night.
And again, crucial, maybe a season-saving win. We'll see in the long run here, but I know I wasn't, in our score predictions, which I forgot to write down. I'm sorry. I know I picked the Canucks to lose.
Yeah.
I think you gave them the win. But, just huge 2 points from the team in this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so on to the next game here. Vancouver in Minnesota, March 24th, 2022. Back-to-backs for the Canucks. So after the game in Colorado, the Canucks didn't land in Minnesota till 3 a.m. Didn't get into their hotel till about 4.
Just brutal.
Yeah, so morning skate was canceled. Obviously, right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Thatcher Demko, Cam Talbot get the starts in this one, which was weird because the Wild just acquired Fleury, and we all know Fleury's track record against the Canucks.
I was kind of interested they didn't play Fleury, but I think he just got there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
and
just
Talbot was coming off a shutout against the Golden Knights.
We're not trying to set Fleury up for fucking failure here. Just get him acclimated to the team first, and then we'll play him.
And then we had a scrap in the first year. Luke Shen, and it's not Marcus Foligno, is it?
Yeah, it's Marcus. Yeah, this one's Marcus Foligno. The other one's Nick Foligno. This one's right. Marcus Foligno.
Yeah. Not a real big, no real bombs were thrown.
No.
Shen got the takedown.
I was just happy that Shen got into a scrap because there was a few games there where I felt like he could have contributed in that area a little bit more.
Yeah, the Detroit Sparkly Boys or something.
Exactly, and in this game he did it, so I was really happy.
Yeah, and that's always a tough point for me too, right? If I think of myself as a coach, I never want a guy that has to fight, but it is part of his game and he's not scared to do it,
especially when he's put with Quinn Hughes. It's kind of okay, well, you can't be fighting all the time because you'll be in the box. We need you to be his D partner,
and he is a penalty killer too, so
exactly,
we have a bad penalty killer.
So
worst in the NHL, fun fact if you didn't know.
Yeah. Luke Shen, he's definitely got to pick his spots where he can take fights now, and this one was necessary. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, kind of set the tone a little bit. Minnesota did come out running around trying to be physical.
And they were laying hits the entire game.
Yeah, and Shen and Foligno have a history. They've fought before a couple times. Shen has also fought Nick Foligno. So maybe the Shens and Folignos have some off-ice history there. Maybe. Who knows? We had a goal by Bo in the first period. Potts an early one after the puck bounces off a Minnesota defender. Right out in front to him, and no problem for Bo there. Just buries it. Good to see them start early. Yeah. Again, especially after the Colorado game, keep it up. You don't want that to be a high point and then downhill from there at the start of a road trip. This was a good foot, and then you got to build off of that. So 1-1 after the first. We had a coach's challenge that saved a goal on an offside call for the Canucks. I don't know why I'm blanking. Was this for the Canucks or against the Canucks?
No, I'm pretty sure this was the goal was scored on us.
Right, yeah, the Wild were offside here.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember this for whatever
reason. That's okay. This
yeah.
game is kind of shaky in my memory too. I think I'm trying to block it out.
But yeah, this was 2-1 Minnesota after 2.
Yeah.
And then a goal on the power play from JT Miller, who ripped it past Talbot. And Besser with a good screen in front, again, doing other things besides just sniping goals. Besser, again, continues to show these different parts to his game. And then, so this was tied 2-2 after 3. So overtime we go. 3-2 loss. Gets scored on the first shot. Again, like, just... I don't know why we can't do anything in overtime.
It was after this overtime that I said the next time we're on a 3-on-3, like overtime, I don't want to see those 3 on the ice. I don't even care. And I want to see Ekman, Larson, Bo, and Bess or something. Something a little different. 2 in a row, first shot.
Just shake up the vibe a little bit.
Exactly.
And this, Miller came in, hit the post, and then Minnesota went down and scored.
Yep.
Questionable back check by Miller.
Yeah.
But definitely not as bad as the Calgary one. So
no, he definitely gave up skating, which I hate to see, because like, what if it rings off the bar or gets a rebound out? Like, you need to be there to swallow up that rebound. And
especially like a guy like that, like Miller is one of the leaders on the team. You want to see him put in the effort all the time. Like, yes, he's scoring goals and setting up goals, but you want to see a 200-foot complete game.
And that's
from a guy like
what
him.
Bo Horvat does. And that's why, where's the C, baby? We need Bo to start that next 3-on-3, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, you just got to get the puck just so you know, like, you have control and you don't have that shaky, like, we have to defend.
And be responsible defensively, like 110%. So
Yeah, you saw in both cases against Buffalo and in Minnesota, the other team was... Minnesota scored off the rush, but they still, like, Buffalo picked their spot. Like, I think they entered the zone 3 or 4 times before they finally decided to shoot.
Yeah.
And, Minnesota obviously got the odd man rush because Miller hit the post, and then he has to go all the way around. But just not a great game from the Canucks in this one. They were definitely being, like, out-muscled.
Yeah.
You want more than a point, but we were kind of lucky to get a point in this one. So.
Yeah, I felt like Minnesota kind of took it to us for the majority of the game, especially in the hitting department. So I was glad to at least walk away with a point.
Yeah, and once again, Thatcher Demko was ridiculous in this one.
Every time.
So on to the last game of the week here. Vancouver at Dallas, March 26, 2022. Demko and Ottinger get the start. No Highmore, out with an upper body injury, not a concussion. The Canucks were very specific on that.
Yeah.
Took 2 big hits in the Colorado
One
game
was
and the Minnesota game. Yeah, got leveled hard.
Yeah.
Will Lockwood making his season debut. Played 2 games last year, I believe, at the end of the year.
Yeah, I love this kid too. He brings a physical edge to his game, and you get to see it here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk that he's kind of been groomed to be the next Tyler Mott, right?
Yeah.
So,
which you don't really see Tyler Mott throwing the body the way he was in this game. So
Lockwood throws louder hits, I would say. Mott will throw some hits, but Lockwood's were noticeable.
And Mott's are like pin guys against the board type hits.
Yeah.
Whereas Lockwood's like trying to put you down. And that's what I like.
Yeah. And does have speed. Like, definitely is the kind of Tyler Mott mold.
Baby face, but he's definitely a tough kid.
But yeah, he played with Richardson and Lamico, and I don't think he looked out of place.
Like, he looked great. In my opinion, I like him a lot more than Nick Petan. Don't know why Nick Petan's still around. Well, obviously because of injuries, but it's just frustrating. Like, give these other kids an opportunity. I was glad to see Lockwood there. If Hoglander or whoever comes back, Nick Petan, you're getting sent down. Hopefully. And keep Lockwood in the lineup.
It would be all right. Like, Nick Petan is... I don't think he's killing the team, but he's not doing really anything for the team. He's just kind of there.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a placeholder right now.
That's kind of how I felt about Highmore when we first received him. He was just kind of skating around. He's not really doing anything. You know what I mean? But now Highmore's so much more involved, and he's such a big part of the team now. But I feel like maybe Nick Petan just hasn't found his place on the team yet. I don't know what it is.
He's more of a skill guy, right? But he's not... There's no room in the top 6 for him here. So he's got to kind of change his game. I don't know if it just... doesn't fit, but
that could be the thing, right? Like, the play style of the line he's on could be like a dump and chase style, and he's not really like that. So
I mean, when you're playing with Chase on too, like, I feel like that's not the best line to be with.
But Chason's impressed me in the past few games. He made a couple skilled plays, rung the post with that one little quick shot. Like, he has a little bit more skill than I thought he did originally. But
see, even the play where he hits the post bothers me, because he hits the post and then he just kind of stops skating and looks up in the air, and it's like, get fucking going. Like, little things like that irk me with Chase on, but whatever.
Yeah. He's a big body, and he can play decent along the boards.
Yeah. In this one, we had a weird play. The puck hit the post, and then in the arena, they blew the goal horn, so the refs blew the play dead. They reviewed it. No goal. You never really see that happen, right? Like,
not much.
The ref waved no goal, and then in the arena they just blew the horn like it was a goal. So, like, you don't really see that too often. You just kind of would let play go till there was a whistle and they'd review it. But yeah, no goal. It was a 2-on-1 rush, and the Minnesota guy hit the post. 0-0 after one. Both goalies were good in the first here. Like, Ottinger was really good. Demko was great, as always. Then in the second, we had a goal on the power play from Petey with a vintage one-timer. Oh, yeah. No issues with that wrist right now. That was a laser. Right along the ice, too, right through Ottinger. Assist from Quinn Hughes and JT Miller.
Yeah, and when he does that, I'm like, okay, PD, why are you being so picky? Just shoot the puck more often. You'd have more goals on your resume for this season. It's frustrating because he knows how to pick his spots so accurately. And that one, I don't even know if he tried to slide it across the ice like that.
I don't think he did.
It's just kind of how he caught it.
Yeah, I think he kind of like whiffed it a little bit.
But that's
just
all
got
he needs
so
to do.
much on it. Yeah,
like that's all he needs to do, man. Just let that thing go.
Yeah, but also I think him not picking his spot, because he is usually a top corner on the one-timer kind of guy.
100%.
This was like right along the ice. I think that threw Ottinger off too.
Yeah. Ottinger's probably thinking, okay, high glove, high blocker, and then it just right through the wickets.
Yep. So this was 1-1 after 2. Then in the third, we had a goal from Elias, the Alien Pettersson, on a laser beam of a wrist shot.
Yeah, seriously.
Through Joe Pavelski's legs, top corner.
Yeah.
200th career point for Petey on this one.
Yeah.
You can't shoot a puck better than that. You can't place it.
It was placed perfectly.
Through a defender's legs, top corner. Like, this is as close to, like, artwork as you can get in an NHL game. This was a lovely goal, and, like, this is the kind of shit that Petey does. Then we had Thatcher Demko with an insane sequence of saves. This was, like, a minute and a half of Dallas running the Canucks all over the ice, and Demko being insane.
If you showed this, like, these clips in, like, clips on a highlight reel, you'd be like, oh, is this like half the season? No, this is one game.
Yeah, one sequence of just, like, I don't understand how he is this good. He even, like, when he's scrambling around, like, he loses his stick all the time. Every time. He still, it just does not get beat.
No.
Caught the puck in his pad, like a crazy scorpion save on the line, which they reviewed again.
Yeah, which I was...
Toronto called it.
I was actually pissed that they reviewed that.
Again, like, they're trying to be like, we want Dallas
in
the after-season tournament, not the Canucks.
Yeah, it really just irked me because you could tell live that it didn't go in.
Yeah.
And then the first replay they show, it clearly didn't go in. So, like, Toronto, what the hell are you watching? Because you guys had to have seen that multiple times.
They were busy watching the Leafs lose to the Canadiens, so they were watching.
They're slacking off.
Yeah, like, just crazy. Like, go watch the sequence. Like, it's like one of the most insane scrambles. The weirdest play all year. Like weirdest stretch of play. And then the Stars hit the post too, like wide open net, and it's that defenseman. Yeah. Lindell hits the post. I think Demko is also, it was Lindell that he made the pad save on too. So
yeah, and Demko made another similar save to this way earlier in the year. It was like one of our first games. He was completely laid out on his stomach and stuck his
scorpion save.
Yeah, and he saved it with the skate. Like, he's just so creative when he goes down.
This was the most Dominik Hasek like goaltending sequence you'll see in a long time.
Yeah.
Then we had an empty netter from Bo Horvat. Put the nail in the coffin for this one. Career high 4-game goal streak. Yeah. Just a good play to end it by the captain here.
Which, thank God he hit the net with this shot, because the entire game he was whiffing, just missing left and right, painting the glass. Like, I was just like, what is going on with you, Bo?
I've never heard that before. That's a good phrase. Painting the glass. I like that. You heard it here first. And then after that, we had a goal from JT Miller on a weird play. Won the faceoff. Luke Shen took a point shot. Had one hand on his stick and tipped the puck like down, and then got the rebound past Ottinger. Yeah. So JT Miller continues his point streak. And this was the biggest game of the year, and Demko and Petey were fantastic. Demko was great at both ends, Petey was great at both ends of the ice. Demko was great at one end of the ice, the end he plays at. Yeah. But just, this was a must-win game. If you lose this one, this was the season. Yeah. Like, we were either going to be, I think, 6 points back of Dallas, or 3 points.
We need to go on a 10-gamer here.
Basically, and this was a big one, right? We burned a game from the Stars, and we made up 2 points on them.
Yep.
This is one of the teams we're chasing, probably the only team we're really chasing at this point. Needed to win this game, and the Canucks had a good game. Like 2 in particular, Demko and Petey were great.
Which, if you're scrolling through the scores like that NHL post, you would see 4-1 and think, "Oh, Vancouver dominated." Nope. This was a freaking close game all the way up until the end.
Yeah.
And we just happened to pot 3-1, like really good goals there towards later.
Yeah, that
in
empty
game.
netter was
huge.
Like basically the end of the game, and then Miller got that weird one. So
yeah,
I think the Stars were kind of out of it at that point, like a little disinterested. But
yeah,
the Canucks needed to win this game. There was, like, we've talked about it for a while now. Like, oh, this is the season. This is the season. This was it. You lose this game, that's it. Yeah,
and it's funny. Like we talk about our Stars struggling all the time. Tyler Seguin was an absolute ghost in this game.
Yeah, had a weird 2-on-1 where he just kind of carried the puck into the corner, like just got in too deep. Like
he is not buzzing right now.
Jamie Benn's not the player he once was, but he played a very physical brand of hockey and was the most underrated player in the league for a long stretch.
And that's the thing, like he can still bring other elements, and it just seemed like Seguin, like I didn't even think he was playing until like the second or third period, and I was like, holy shit, that is him. He's just doing nothing. Like
when you think of the Stars, like you definitely think of Ben and Seguin and like Radulov.
Paying him a lot of money.
And I didn't like Radulov was being kind of a douchebag. Like
he was.
Ran Demko and tries to apologize. Chicken wings Myers stick and be like, he was hooking me. Like I got caught in my jersey and shit.
It's so funny because they show the replay. He clearly grabs the stick and the ref's standing right there.
Like, I only grabbed it a little. Why am I getting a penalty?
And he's freaking on the ref. It's like, dude, shut the hell up and go to the box.
Get in the box. Yeah, Radulov was a douchebag.
Yeah, he did not impress me whatsoever in that game. He looked like a crybaby.
Yeah, but yeah, like I didn't notice Jamie Benn at all. Seguin just the 1 or 2 plays.
Only time I noticed Ben was when Demko, he made a 6 save and then he goes and postures up on the net and they chatted it up for a little bit. I was like, unreal.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing with Dallas. They're definitely turning the page on that franchise. Like it's that Robertson who's got 31 goals this year.
Yeah,
in his second
Hintz,
year.
He's not bad.
Pavelski in a weird way, like
100%.
Still putting up crazy numbers at like 36 or 37.
But Pavelski's unreal.
But yeah, this must-win game that the Canucks won, so we're still in search of that P word there. So we'll see if they make it.
We need to.
Okay, so that'll do it for games this week. Had 4 big games. Got on the start of the road trip here. Got 5 out of 6 points, which is pretty good, even after the loss in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Good start to the road trip. Basically, you couldn't do any less than that.
Yeah.
Just a couple notes to go over this week. Yannick Hansen was on the Canucks Hour podcast. And I love Yannick Hansen on radio just as much as I love watching him play. His opinions are how he played, like direct to the point and just brutally honest. He was talking about like how certain guys haven't played up to their contract. Like said Tyler Myers makes $2 million
more than he should.
And it's different to see that from a player's perspective, right? You'd figure he'd be like, he's like, he's earning his keep a little bit, but he's like, no, he makes too much money. So
and that's clear.
Yeah, and it's very, very cool. And like he was really like retrospective on his own career too, right? Of how when he got shipped out, like how, and like he knew like certain parts of his game, like when he was on the 4th line, if he made a mistake, he was going to hear about it from Manny Malhotra or whoever he was playing with. Like
exactly.
So it's just a really cool. Like I want to hear more of Yannick Hansen.
Yeah.
I want him to have his own Canucks podcast because he's great. So go check it out, the Canucks Hour podcast, if you haven't. Vasily Podkolzin was papered down to the AHL this week. Just so if the Canucks don't make the P word, he can go to Abbotsford and go on a run there, which would be good for him. Like I hope I hope he's playing in the big leagues into the summer. But if he has to go to Abbotsford, he'll be a top guy there, right? He's not going to be
100%.
on the 3rd line, 4th line. He's going to be a first liner on the power plays, penalty killing. Like,
it'd be a good experience for him.
Yeah, just like more professional hockey in North America, especially like a higher level as a league guy. Like, he was great in Russia in the playoffs. Like, he was probably the best player on the squad from what I've heard. Like, and that's based off like what Thomas Drance has said and all the like.
And we need him, man.
Yeah,
like bad.
Him and Hoglander are definitely.
I've missed Hog so much during this injury, man. It's crazy how much we need him. Like
it is funny how you take that one piece out of the lineup, and it seems like we have not as much depth on wing as I thought we really did.
No, and it's crazy. Like, you frickin' just miss how hard the kid works every single shift and puck battles, and he just makes it so hard for the other team to get any momentum going.
Yeah, so it, like, whatever happens either way, he's gonna get good experience playing wherever he plays.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that Hoglander wasn't papered down to the AHL too. Like, he's still on his ELC. Like, and this is not a demotion for either of the guys. It's just if the season ends, you can go play more hockey, playing. Right? Like, play first line minutes and just keep growing your game. Like, so I don't know. Maybe that's a sign that the injury is worse than we think, or who knows. But just interesting that Pods is going and Hogs wasn't. Then I just have a note of that 3-on-3 is a big problem for this team, but we've kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we need to see something new on the next 3-on-3.
Yeah, and it's so weird, right? Like, Miller is such a clutch face-off.
Yep.
Like, he just wins every draw. I don't know why. It's just the two mistakes he's made have just bit him in the ass so hard here.
And it's his, like, bad attitude, for lack of a better term, when things don't go his way on the 3-on-3. You have to work hard in all situations, and I feel like Bo won't let that happen, even if you just put them out there for a quick shift. Win the face-off, get in their end, make a shot, keep possession, get off the ice, then let the big guns come out. Then let JT and PD and Quinn all come out there. Just switch it up a little bit.
Even then, Bo is one of the big guns I would consider him. Like,
oh, no, for sure. I mean? It's just 3-on-3 action. You want to see those three stars out there because they have the most lethal shots and setups on the team.
Another thing we should talk about too is before the Colorado game, OEL was kind of looking like he was battling through some kind of injury. Like, he didn't look like the same guy at the start of the year, or whether he was just kind of like slowing down from wear and tear of the season. But in Colorado, he was much better. Like, I don't know if maybe just kind of getting in that scrum really got him into the game, or if he was battling an injury. But just he had a weird little stretch there where he wasn't the OEL we had seen at the start of the year and through most of this year. So. Yeah,
which him and Quinn, they play at such a high level, you can tell when something's a little off.
Yeah, like just a little off too. Yeah. Like, very true. So yeah, that'll kind of do it for news. Let's go over the games this week. We'll do a score predictions. This is another big week. I know we play Vegas, which again, another team that's ahead of us right now in the standings. We have to beat them. Yeah. So let's look at the schedule here. We're in St. Louis Monday, the 28th. That is an interesting one. The Blues aren't playing great right now. Depends if they start Binnington or not. If they start Binnington, I think we're waxing them because, I don't think Binnington's that good. To be totally clear,
he's definitely had a bit of a decline in his game. Then you got Big Shen versus Little Shen, so that'll be fun to see too.
Yeah, the Shen Cup here.
Yeah,
we'll see if it's anything like the Hughes Bowl. I'm gonna give this one 4-2 Canucks.
I like that score prediction. I'm gonna go 3-1. Thatcher Demko shuts the frickin' door on him.
All right.
Yeah.
Then, so I was wrong. We don't play Vegas till next week. Then we have St. Louis in Vancouver Wednesday, the 30th. Weird kind of schedule there. But,
who do we play next? Sorry, I missed
St. Louis Monday, St. Louis Wednesday.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're gonna be angry after the defeat. They're gonna come out trying to buzz. And they can be pretty physical when they want to be.
Yep.
So I think, there's no way we beat them worse the second game. I'll go. Oh, that's such a hard one. 3-2 Vancouver Canucks.
5-1 Vancouver Canucks. I had my score picked.
Yeah, beat them down. I hope so. We need it.
Yeah.
We need a confidence booster.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go over Canucks of the Week this week, which is kind of a weird one for me. I'm not
clamoring to give it to anyone.
There's a couple guys, but just kind of the Buffalo game and the Minnesota game are a bit of a damper on things.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? I think I know who I'm giving it to.
I know who I'm giving it to, too.
You first.
I'm giving it to Thatcher Demko once again. I was thinking about JT Miller. I was thinking about Bo Horvat. I was thinking about Elias Pettersson. Brock Besser's been better as of late. Quinn Hughes is always amazing. There's definitely other guys that deserve it, but Thatcher Demko, man, we're not even getting a sniff at some of these games without him. Yaroslav Halak played frickin' amazing in that one game that he started in, so I was like, just for that performance, ready to give it to him. But
and with Halak too, right? Like, so much of it was, will he play the whole game?
Yep.
Like, just because
is he going to get pulled after the first?
Just because of how the last a couple have gone. So
yeah,
like Halak could be an interesting candidate here. Not my pick, but
no,
definitely deserves an honorable mention.
Yeah,
I'm going with Bo.
Yeah, and I was gonna pick Bo, but the only reason I didn't is because he missed the net like 7 times.
He did, but he also had the empty netter that
which was big.
Game. And like, there's no goalie in the net, right? But empty netters are hard.
And it puts the final nail in the coffin.
Bo's out there because he's gonna battle, even with that extra forward. He's gonna like work for every puck. He's got a great chance to win the draw to get you set up. Like, it's not a freebie goal. Like, Bo earns these, and he had a couple of them, and it was just good all trip.
Yeah,
has on a 4-game points goal scoring streak, which is a career high. I just think he deserves some recognition for that. And crucial times too, right? Like, he missed the net a lot in Dallas.
Yeah,
but was still driving play like offensively.
Yeah, and I was like, literally, he was the second in my mind to get it, but it's just, with the way that Thatcher Demko played in that Dallas game, I had to give it to him.
Yeah, hard not to pick Demko or Petey just from that game. But
Petey was freaking
Bo was
amazing.
Consistent all week for me.
Yeah, he was.
Demko was great too. Again,
and
but
Bo's been consistent the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, Bo's
so
good.
Like, I almost gave it to him last time, so he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, and again, like, at the most crucial time of the year when you need wins, like, Bo has been scoring goals for the team. One off his career high. So.
Yep. Bo's not that mid-season amazing player. He's that clutched up time, like, coming into playoffs, he's a god.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how he does that. But
And so I have a couple tweets of the week here, both from Thomas Strantz, at Thomas Strantz. The first one, this is from the Dallas game. Elias Pettersson is gross. Very true. That's awesome. And then the next one is Thatcher Demko in full force field mode. Stunning performance. Also from the Dallas game.
Yep.
Very true. Very correct. Thomas Strantz, smart man as always.
Yep. That first one was hilarious.
Yeah. And man, Petey, that might have been his best game of the year.
He's had a couple good ones lately.
Both those shots were ridiculous. Like, his wrist is 100% fine. I'm not worried about that at all, especially after seeing him rip a one-timer. Yeah. That was the big thing. Like, he sat out the 2 games. Then you didn't see him take that one-timer. I think he had one that was, maybe like 80% of what a Petey shot is. But so it's just a good confidence boost for the fans, just to be like, okay, kid's fine. Yeah,
and I was really hoping on that empty netter that Petey would have got it for the hat trick, but whatever, it is what it is. We had to get it.
We forgot. Congratulations, Petey, on your 200 points. We mentioned it, but no congrats. But you deserve it.
Yep.
First player from his draft class to hit 200 points over Heischer, Nolan Patrick.
And if he wouldn't have started out so shitty, he would have got that a long time ago.
Yes, yeah.
So
probably had 35 games where he was not
terrible.
That good. So just shows what kind of player he is. I think he was the 4th or 5th fastest Canuck to hit 200 points in a career. In his
Brock
230 games.
Fairly quick, but I think
Brock was quick too.
Yeah.
Just a pretty decent week in Canucks hockey, even though we had some kind of low points in games. Still picked up a lot of points. Caught up ground on Dallas, which is huge. We'll just keep grinding out wins, hopefully. And
we got to catch these dubs.
Yeah, we'll see where we are next week. Basically, it's a week-to-week show now, whether we're still in contention or we're just out of it. We lose 2 games, like, that's kind of it.
Well, and I said we have to do 10 in a row, and like, that's not even a joke.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
Yeah.
And we play Vegas, not this week, but the week after, I think 3 times in 10 days.
Yep.
Which, they're ahead of us,
And they had like a 5-game skid and shit like that, which we haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we can kind of beat them down and just get on top of them and just kind of get up in the lineup a little more.
Hopefully Thatcher Demko is still in their heads from the bubble.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
And this is the part of the year too where I'm like, at the start of the year I'm real into all hockey because I missed it. I'm like always into the Canucks, but then you kind of slow down and you just pay attention to the Canucks a little bit. Now it's to the point where I'm scoreboard watching every night. Like,
you got to see who's winning, who's losing.
Flames waxed the Oilers last night, which we needed.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Vegas came back and beat the Blackhawks in overtime. it's kind of a situation where I don't want either of those teams to win, but it happens.
Which it's kind of funny now that we're coming into these Vegas games because they don't have Tuck anymore, which Tuck was kind of like their secret weapon against us for a few games. Like just dumping the puck down to him and sending him on breakaways.
Yeah.
They don't have that this time around. Thank God.
You know, Tuck is a lot. He's like if Jake Virtanen was a player because he's big and deceptively fast.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he's an absolute speedster.
Yeah.
And that like as good of a player as Eichel is, like that was good pieces for Buffalo getting back to. Because that other kid, that Cousins, looks like he's fitting in.
He's really good. Yeah. And he's getting a little chippy as of late. I've seen that, but weird tangent of Buffalo talk here, but honestly, I actually really liked the Sabres on as a kid. Like when Dominic Hasek was there, I remember loved the Sabres. You used to have the black jersey with the Buffalo
great fucking jersey too. Buffalo, you should wear that more often.
And they don't even have it on the game. Like the NHL 22, like where did that jersey go? Why do you guys hate on it? Like put it in the game. That was the best jersey they ever had.
Especially after the shitty jerseys they wore during like the Dan O'Brien and Chris Drury era. Those things sucked. Yeah. Not the ones that had Buffalo on them, but like their primary ones.
Even the ones now I think are shitty. The blue ones with a little bit of yellow. Like,
I do like those ones, but I think the black ones are the best.
The black ones by far. Bring those back.
Yeah. I watched like a lot of Detroit and Buffalo games when I was a kid because Steve Yzerman and Hasek were two of my favorite players. Yep. Then back in the day when Marcus Naslund kind of blew up. Yeah. The West Coast Express, that was good shit. Yep. But yeah, that'll do it for this week's episode. Good week of Canucks hockey. Yeah. Another big week coming up. We'll be scoreboard watching all the time. Fingers crossed for those Vegas, Dallas Oilers losses. We pray to the hockey gods. Yep. And, if you like the show, you can find us on YouTube. If you're watching it, obviously you know where we are, the Canuckleheads podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere there's podcasts.
Awesome. Another one in the bag.
Good fucking episode.
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, folks. Don't ruin it.